Bachchan, when are you getting on to Twitter?
But as yet, yeah, you're right. I haven't, and I keep saying I'll take the opportunity to tweet whenever I do on
Oh, so
Abhishek's
it's
or
not
on
a no.
Paz. No, on their accounts as yet.
Oh,
So far, I
okay.
haven't as yet started because one, I genuinely did not have the time, and I don't want to just do it as a statement. I don't believe, firstly, it's any kind of a record or reflection of the kind of well-wishers you have around the world, or you don't have to do it just because it's going to get me tomorrow's headline. I mean, that's not something that I've ever wanted to do. And initially, I kept saying, let me look for the right time. I didn't want to do it just at the time of a release because that's what well-wishers started saying around the world. That heck, is this just that, just an instrument for that? So it's kind of looking for the right opportunity. But having said that, I genuinely did not have even the time for the kind of work, and with family and with time being so precious. So at every given opportunity that I speak through you all, members of the media, I do keep speaking out to my well-wishers and say thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all your love, your wishes that I keep receiving on Abhishek's and Faz Twitter accounts, and friends and members of the fraternity who keep forwarding them to me. Thank you all so much for your good wishes, your appreciation, your love, and every opportunity through you all.
There is a possibility. That means you're not ruling it out, of course.
Let's see what tomorrow holds. Yeah, let's
Okay,
see.
I wanted to Ash, because I find, of course, this is my personal take on you. I find that you are a little less accessible to the media than Abhishek and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and they're both tweeting and they're both doing TV. Are you the shyest of the three? Is it because you're shyer?
No, I don't know. I don't know. You make the judgment. For me, I think um, it's just been the pace of my life. It's genuinely just been the pace of my life. I think as a working woman, you'd know that there's so much going on. Our lives itself is so demanding with film, and I mean, when I say it comes to doing interviews, I like to do it like this, where we genuinely sit and talk, not just do it because I'll be on your show next week. So, I like to kind of do it as committed, as real, and spend the kind of time that I can when we talk to each other. And probably that's why I end up kind of compartmentalizing through so much that's going on in life. And there really is a lot. There really is a lot, because not only is there my life today with my family, it's a family of very busy individuals, and we try and make as much time to participate in each other's life. And I certainly do. So for me, I'm just not only leading my hectic life, somewhere I'm doing my best to also participate in Abhishek's life, in Pa's life, in Ma's life, and ours together. There are my parents. There is all the kind of films I've been doing. Today there's promotional work, which is so much and so extensive. And that apart, your other commitments, social commitments, endorsements, it's a very, very hectic.
Well, congratulations on the success of Ravanan and Endiran. I mean, that's amazing. Can I ask though whether on a personal level it was difficult for you because Ravan didn't work the way Ravanan did, and Abhishek has said, I think in an interview, that it was quite devastating for him.
It's not just Abhishek. I think y'all have just singled this out. Any actor will tell you. I mean, it's just that you'll have singled this out probably because it makes for some kind of a statement. Any actor will tell you. I'm sure Ritik will tell you about Kites, or if any other actors, or whatever they films talk about.
It's an unusual project, right?
No,
Two
any
films
actor,
in the same, different languages, same cast, except
no, but if Abhishek has said he was heartbroken or devastated, I think any actor says that when a film does not necessarily make that kind of an impact in the box office.
No, what I'm asking you is, it's because you were in both films, and obviously, I'm sure, because you've talked about your family, I'm sure what's happening in your family's life is also impacting you. So I want to know at a personal level, was it difficult for you?
It's not that
one worked and the other didn't.
No, it's not that. I mean, when we talk about film successes or not necessarily doing that well at the box office, that is not something that you take home and you kind of live with all the time. You obviously are expressing the fact that it's unfortunate. We always want every film that we work in to entertain and for the audience to come away enjoying that piece of cinema that you have been so passionately involved with and you've worked so hard on. And in that sense, it's obviously relevant to that response when you say that, oh, if the film did not work, it's heartbreaking, it's devastating, or it's shattering, or whatever be the adjectives that go with describing the disappointment of the fact that a film did not work. When it comes to individual performances, like I said, the little rewards that you definitely come away with is when your performances are appreciated. And And that's very, very gratifying. And in terms of box office destinies, I mean, my career is, I think, example of it, that you can't quite predict that, and you can never necessarily be able to make that also the fulcrum of your journey ahead, because the films live their destinies, many of them great successes, many of them not at the box office, and can yet be exceedingly memorable cinema, or very impactful characters. And that's the fruits that I've always come away with, and probably that's why I've never been stressed and tense at the time of a release.
I understand
And
that,
you
of
know,
course, but you do understand
that's been the way I've
you
always
do
worked.
understand my question. I'm not asking for that, of course, because you've explained that before
Yeah.
also. I'm just saying, I'm just asking whether this personally affected you because you were in both projects and your husband
But
was
it's
in
the
one and
project.
Vikram
No, no,
was in
no. But
another.
at the same time, you're not actually turning around, and there was no distinction or differentiation when you're actually working. We're all professionals. There was Ragini in the film, and that's very, very clear. And that's very clear with all the professionals involved. I mean, how would you explain? How would you ask Money the same question? I mean, frankly, that I should be posed the question in the same light, because that's the irony of it, that it's the exact same film with the exact same performances, where actually Money has virtually had them almost mirror it, and we know it because that's the kind of time frame. Santosh would not even get the chance to change frames around. So you actually have gone they've actually done the same thing, but it's a different, I guess, cultural connect, and a different way, the way people kind of came away with the cinema impacting the audience. And that's, in fact, such a statement on it, that cinema can impact a certain audience in a certain narrative, and not necessarily all. For that matter, while here there was a mixed response to the Hindi, and I'll say mixed because genuinely we also did get a lot of diametrically opposite. Either they've loved it or people did not get it. There was no in between with Ravan, with the Hindi version. And then when you went overseas, whether it came to the Venice Festival or at Busan, standing ovations. So you're like Money would joke and say, okay, this is a bit confusing. And I'd be like, yeah, let's just enjoy it, because it just goes to show it's different audiences and how they get your cinema. And that's always been the magic of cinema. And that's why we embrace it and go with it.
Okay, I know that you have to go for your films show, which
Yes.
you yourself are hosting,
Yes.
so I'm going to quickly wrap this up. I had tweeted this interview, and your fans have sent me some questions.
Okay.
Aishwarya21 fan says, Hrithik Roshan said you are his favorite co-star, so is he yours?
Trick question, unfair. I love all the co-stars I work with because we do fabulous work together.
All right. So John says, do you think Action Replay's performance at the box office will have an effect on Guzarish?
I cannot answer this question because I've never been able to. I mean, none of us know these things at all in the business of what we do.
Okay. Komal187 says, for me, Ash personifies perfection and elegance. Is there something that makes you imperfect that you'd like to change? I think what she means is, do you think there's something about you that's wrong?
Well, I wish I would be more accessible. I wish I'd be better at returning messages and calls. I hope to try and improve in that department.
You always return my messages,
Yes.
but you give me one interview every 2 years.
Yeah, well, well, yeah. Well,
Okay.
I hope to kind of get all that better plan. But life always brings surprises, so you can never say what's going to happen the following day. You saw what happened today. Go on, tell them. This interview has been delayed extensively because there was a power cut for more than an hour, and we all thought we'll have a candlelit
To
interview.
a large part of Maharashtra.
Exactly. So see, surprises. And then it came and went briefly, and we were all confused again. But here we are. We managed to get the interview.
Okay. And Trevor says, won't you participate in the Mrs. World contest?
Lord, I never thought about it. I
didn't
never
either.
thought about it. I think I've done the pageant thing. I've moved on.
Well, you'd give the Mrs. World contestants a run for their money. Aishwarya Rai
Oh.
Bachchan, as I said, you are a role model in a country where working women have very few role models.
Thank you.
Congratulations on
How
your
kind.
success.
Thank you.
you for joining me on
Thank you
this
so
show.
much. Thank you all. Lots of
Well,
love.
that's it from me on this show. Do send me your feedback on twitter.com/Anna.